And podcast land, welcome to the Beer League in the Get Off My Lawn studios here. Greg, how you doing, buddy, this week?
I'm doing good. Don't forget, this is the house that Dyson built.
Oh, so you're bringing it up today.
And more august.
So
setup.
Go my picture. Go to my side here. I'm going to get my beer. Oh, it's a yard short. I just can't grab it. I miss it. It's a yard short.
He's never going to come on here.
He is coming. I told you. We're going to get him on the show. He's going to love it. He's going to see this picture, and he's going to go get his drink, and it's going to be a yard short,
He's
too.
real busy these days.
I know.
But,
he left the school as a principal. He's like,
he started his own school. Sometimes you got to start your own thing.
Yeah, well, we don't want to talk about that high school, what happened over there this week. We don't want to talk about that one. That's not good.
It's tough. That's inside baseball right there, man.
Yeah,
but things are good. Here we go.
There you go. So, hey, everyone out there, welcome again. And we have a very special guest here today, Patrick Murray. There, get the claps. Hello, Patrick.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How's everything?
I think this counts as a New York episode.
I'm gonna say, well, that's why I'm sporting the team, because Patrick is from the Buffalo area, or Rochester, is it?
Rochester,
okay.
Yep.
And I'm sure he loves his Buffalo Sabres, and I got the hat to prove it. Let's go Buffalo.
Unfortunately, I do. Yeah, it's been a rough 15 years. Last time they made the playoffs, I was a junior in high school.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm 31 right now, so that's,
oh boy,
man,
oh boy.
It's looking like it might be going on 15 years too.
Yeah.
You're in Nashville. We don't even get championships around here, so
No, you don't. No, you don't get me going.
Don't.
Fang finger, stupid.
Did the Sabres ever win the cup, or are they still?
No, 99, 75 and 99, they went to the cup finals and lost both. Lost to Philly in 75 and Dallas in 99. I didn't really get too serious into it, though, like as a fan, until the 05-06 year when they ran to the conference finals and almost beat Carolina. Still say to this day, if Jay McKee did not get that staph infection for Game 7, they were winning that series and probably winning the cup. But
Jay McKee was a stud.
Oh, yeah.
A stud.
Yeah.
So, all right, Pat, first thing now we got to show, because Patrick is from the Buffalo area, and we can show his picture.
Oh, yeah.
See, in Nashville area, you do not get these. You do not get Molson Canadians, or you don't get Labatt's Blue Light. You get Labatt's regular, but you got to get the lights here. So that's one of my hockey trips down into Atlanta. I have to stock up. I did buy 8 cases.
Is that where you got
Oh, my
this?
God.
In Atlanta?
Yep. I buy 8 cases, stack up. I buy my...
I'm not sure that's legal to take that across state lines. You're
is
starting
that-
to be a bootlegger.
Someone's going to be knocking on the door here in a minute.
All right. I don't bring 8 cases back from Atlanta. But I do have another trip going to Atlanta, and so I got to stock up again, because you can't get it. I asked everybody around here, every liquor store, and all. No, we don't get that. I said, well, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Come on, you got to support the Molsons. I am such a bad man, too. I have a Molson app on my phone.
What's dedication?
It's so I can find the Molsons.
Oh, is that it tells you where they're being sold?
You're damn skippy. Where is that app? I got to find it. It's on my phone that I'll sit there and go, oh, look, here it is. My Molson Home app for everybody out there in Molson Canadian land. And here it is.
Wow.
So here's my Molson Canadian app.
2025, what a time to be alive.
Exactly. So, and because you can't find anywhere. So any state that we go to outside doing these hockey tournaments, I go, hey, let's go check out where I can buy Molsons. And sure enough, it tells you exactly where to buy them and bring them home. You know, I do go up to the state of Kentucky because my daughter does go from UK. Go Cats, meow. We go up there, and they have Labatt's and they have Molson Canadians. But the only problem is, up in Kentucky, for a 6-pack, it's like $13 for a 6-pack.
Well, it doesn't surprise me.
It's stupid.
They
It's like
sell
a craft
they
beer.
sell the Blue Heavies in some of the Krogers down here. It's like $12.
$12.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like, no, I'm not going to do it. I won't do it. So then it's $12.99 for a 6-pack, for a 12-pack in Atlanta.
You know what's funny about that is, because I say the same thing, and then we'll go to the bar and you'll spend $8 for a Michelob Ultra, and your bar tab's $60, and you're like, I had 3 beers.
Yep.
It's funny.
That's why you need to come down here to the beer league more often and hang out, just shoot the breeze and talk about sports and how we'll talk about the Sabres. We'll talk about fang fingers and stuff like that and everything. And then if you get crazy, you talk about the Bills and everything.
Oh yeah. Did you say your daughter golfed for Kentucky?
No, she goes to.
Oh, okay. I thought
my
I heard you say
accent.
she golfed.
She is a dancer
Okay.
up there on the TikTok.
On the TikTok.
Yeah, she's like the primary dancer for the Coyotes.
Chi Omega.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, you should see what they do during rush week.
Oh boy, she's up there right now. She called me. She was very mad. So right now she's the sober one, the sober one watching this wedding or something like that. There's a thing that they do, Chi Omega. I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm just like shelling out money. I don't. Where do I write the check?
Yeah.
Here you go. Whatever. Like you just have fun, have a great experience, and have fun. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's loving life up there. She's having so much fun, and you'll see because your daughter now is 11 months. He just said this.
11 months, crawling, fully mobile. It's crazy. It's the best thing in the world, though.
Amen.
Like it's, what's wild is how terrified you are initially when you find out, and you have no idea what you're doing, and then you have the child, and you still have no idea what you're doing. You're just going along with the flow, and then you realize no parents know what they're doing. Like all these parents of the kids that I've coached and stuff, like we're figuring it out as we go along. It's just winging it.
It is scary, like you said. I know the first one, I'm like my daughter. I'm like, oh my god, don't. But it gets easier the second and the third one.
Yeah.
The second, third one, fourth, the third one, you're just like, yeah, whatever.
You don't really care as much, and
Yeah.
you don't have the energy by the third one.
Yeah,
I
you
mean
don't care.
that's just all bets are off.
I said we're done with 2 though.
Yeah,
Done with 2.
sustainable. You're sustainable.
Not being irresponsible is what I'm saying. I got friends of mine with 4, 5, 6. You know who you are out
I
there.
don't know how they do it.
Irresponsible.
My goodness.
Well, anyway, welcome, Pat. Thank you very much for coming on. I know you're busy. You're coaching a lot. You're working a lot. You got your baby. Your wife. Thank your wife for letting you come here and hang out with us too today and have a couple pops. And she's gonna drive home too, so I like that. So Pat, let's talk about you. Let's get you started. What made Pat Murray from Rochester? And in that time frame of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then bang, sitting here in Beer League in the Get Off My Lawn studios in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So yeah, I went to school at a small college up at the furthest north you can go in New York called SUNY Canton, and I tried to walk on and play for their NCAA team, and ended up being the last scratch or last cut tryouts. This is after I played a year of junior hockey, and I don't know if we're going to get into it, but it's the whole junior hockey and trying to go play NCAA. It's there's such a process to it.
I want to stop you first. I want you to rewind even more so.
Sure.
I want you to get to the point where what you're doing now, you're coaching you.
Yeah.
So let's start with you playing hockey. When did you start playing hockey, and how old, and when did you your progression of single, double, triple, juniors, Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, my brother, he's 10 years older than me. He loved hockey, and we were super tight when I was young. Some of my really early childhood memories, we were playing, street hockey in the garage, and he'd beat the crap out of me, hit me into the boards, and like every typical northern kid, I grew up skating on a pond, and that's kind of where I taught myself the fundamentals of skating and how to play. And my parents always tell me that the first time they brought me to a rink to do like open skate, the pair of rental skates that they got me was weird. They had like 2 blades. I don't know if they make those anymore.
Yeah, I remember. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I couldn't skate on them. They said I was falling and I was crying. And then they went and replaced those with a traditional pair of ice skates. And they said when they set me down on the ice, they said I just took off. And so from there, I fell in love with it. And we didn't come from a lot of money. My parents were both very blue collar, worked blue collar jobs, and for me, I started playing house hockey, and that was like, I didn't know there was anything else out there besides it. I was just so excited to be able to play on the weekends, and I would play street hockey in the driveway, and especially in the winters when it got cold and the rink froze, I'd be out there skating, and I had a net I'd drag out, and I'd put my skates on at the house and walk down the rock driveway to the rink. And,
Don't worry about shopping them.
Yeah, no idea. And I would just do that. And like you hear so many stories of guys that had the similar childhoods. Mom would call them in at night. It's time for dinner. Same thing. And so that's really where the love started. And as I started to get older and I was still playing, I didn't even know that travel hockey existed. And when freshman year of high school, my dad took out a second job and said, hey, you can try out for AA. And I don't think he thought I'd make the team. And I ended up making the team. And so I played 2 years of that. And then I'm kind of bouncing all over the place here. But the high school that I went to, we didn't have high school hockey. I was like one of 5 kids at my school that played hockey, which you wouldn't think, being up in that market.
Yeah, that's weird.
But the town over from me had like 150. They were top 5 in the state. They were sick, and I tried to transfer to that school to play for them, and they wouldn't let me because I was out of the school zone. Yeah. And my parents weren't gonna, no disrespect to parents that are uprooting their lives and moving for their kids. If you want to do that, that's on you. But my parents weren't gonna do that. Yeah. And so they actually started a co-op JV program with my school and 2 other schools. And so I played that my freshman, sophomore, and junior year. And then going into our senior year, another co-op varsity approached us and said, hey, do you want to, merge with us and play varsity? And so from there, varsity hockey up there is very different than down here. We practiced every single day. It was, it felt like a legit varsity sport. Down here.
Was it sanctioned up there too? Or no?
Yeah.
Oh, was okay.
Yeah.
So it really was a sport.
Yeah.
Then, like, because obviously club hockey here and
Yeah.
some areas in Long Island it's club hockey too.
Yeah.
But
No, it was sanctioned up there. Section 5 hockey. Every school west of where I grew up had their own teams, and they had state playoffs and state championships. And it's not like here where like the state championship is just the local Nashville teams. Like we could be playing Buffalo teams, Syracuse, Utica teams. They divided up by class too, by how many kids go to the school. But nevertheless, I played my senior year of that and did really well. Not to brag or anything, but
brag away, bud. Brag away. This is the time. Brag away.
I was like top 5 in scoring, and I was just loving every minute of it. And I remember I was in class one day, and I got a call from a coach, and he mentioned junior hockey, and I was like, what the hell is junior hockey? I don't know what that is. I was the first kid in my family to play hockey, so my parents had no idea what we were doing.
And your brother just kept beating you up.
My brother, so
Toughen you up.
he went into the military when he was 18, and I was still only like 8 years old at the time. So he got out of the house from 18. So I have a brother and sister, but they're both very older than me. So I essentially grew up an only child for like the years that I really remember. I remember going to a junior hockey tryout. I could wear the visor for the first time. I was so pumped because it felt like I was in the NHL.
And you were 18?
So this was the year after I graduated high school. And so I went to tryouts not really knowing what to expect. And they took last year's team and had them play 3 games against all the kids trying out. And I did really well. Actually, funny story, my very first shift, I got lit up at center ice, and my visor came and just shattered my nose. And we had like senior trip the next day for high school, and I had black eyes and stuff. So it was funny.
But I bet you it was eye-opening too. Literally, you're like, whoa, you guys are flying.
Yeah,
too.
for sure. And there were kids from Europe out there that I speak in English, and I had never been around that before. And but it was really cool to kind of have my eyes opened to, oh wow, like there's a whole other world of hockey out here besides just what I'm used to at home. And ended up making the team, signed a contract with them.
Was your high school coach at all guiding you at all into what direction, or just out of nowhere this coach calls you, that's juniors, goes, hey, I like the way you play, I like the way you skate, what do you think?
No, I mean, my high school coach, he was an awesome dude. There wasn't really any of that, like, I'm going to try to guide you and help you get to the next level. It was more so like,
you're on your own.
Yeah, you're on your own.
So,
and no, not his fault or anything.
And your dad never, and mom, we're not hockey, so you're like, they're probably going, what the hell's going on here? You what?
Yeah, and God bless, like, both of them, like my parents. I mean, they literally shelled out everything that they had so I could play the game, and I recognize that more so now than I was at that age. And I tell all the kids I coach now, like, wait till you're older, like, you'll realize how much your parents did for you guys, and all the money and trips and time away from home and all that stuff. But
so you had that motivation, like, the whole time?
I
You were like, I've got to.
I
this
really was naive and thought that I could still make the NHL when I was 18. I was like, I'll play junior. Yeah, that's how I get to the NHL. I was like Googling paths to the NHL as I got older, and yeah, just naive to it. But yeah, I still had that dream, and when I got to Syracuse, I played in Syracuse. That's where junior was. It was a little bit of a tough transition for me. I was living away from home for the first time. I was living with a billet family. We had 5 of us in the basement, myself, 2 kids from Pittsburgh and 2 kids from Sweden, actually. We all 5 of us crammed in a basement on bunk beds.
You still friends with them?
Yeah, actually, I was just the best man in one of my buddy's weddings.
That's what it's about.
And he'll be in my wedding here in December. So,
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. But yeah, it was a fun year, and I just remember after I looked at all my friends that I went to high school with, and they're all going to be now going into their sophomore years of college, and I just felt like I don't want to play another year junior, and then they'll be juniors as I'm going to be a freshman, and I just felt like I was falling behind. And so I had a girlfriend at the time, and she was going to a college down the road from the school that called me quote unquote a preferred walk on, hey, yeah, you can come try out, we can't guarantee you a spot. If I had stayed and played a second year, your chances of getting recruited to a Division III school increased dramatically.
Well, I know up in that area, Plattsburgh was always a top organization program.
Still
and
are.
That was because they take a lot of kids from Canada to come down. So okay.
And so I tried to walk on to SUNY Canton and made it to last cuts, and I was the last cut. I tell people I got Ralph Coxed.
Ralph.
Yeah. But,
was it, it's a D2, right?
D3.
Was it D3?
NCAA D3, yeah.
Okay.
So
you would have played then Plattsburgh then?
Yeah, played Plattsburgh. You would have played Oswego.
Oneonta.
They're nasty.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you would have played all those. They weren't in the SUNYAC at the time because they were a new D3 program, but they were playing all the SUNYAC schools, which is such a unbelievable league. I mean, there's no Division II NCAA hockey. It's Division III and Division I, and there's so few schools that offer hockey. It's such an expensive sport.
Well, why is that? I've been wondering why there's no Division II.
I think just because of how expensive the sport is.
Probably less kids too.
Less kids.
A lot of less kids.
Yeah. And you gotta. It's really difficult to have a team if you don't have a rink on campus to build all that and make your money back. I don't know. It's a great question.
I wonder why. I mean, you don't see people maybe in the era of NIL transitioning to kick it up, because we see club hockey's getting really big.
Huge.
Right now.
Yeah. It was not huge at all when I was younger.
It was real competitive, and they're starting. SEC stuff is getting legitimate.
I wouldn't doubt. Again, this might be crazy. I would not put it past the SEC with all this NIL deals to pop out a Division I hockey organization, because they are starting to build rinks around there.
Yeah,
they're starting to pop this stuff out there, and their club hockey teams are pretty darn good.
Oh yeah, for sure. You imagine seeing a UT Alabama Division I NCAA hockey game? That'd be insane.
I mean, you do see it up there with Penn State versus Michigan State, and Ohio State. I mean, that's some great hockey.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch those games, I would rather watch a college hockey game right now than a pro game, because they are just flying and they are just beating each other up.
Yeah, they got that school passion.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. If I was going the same route today, or if I had another opportunity to kind of go through my career and try to play in college today, go to an SEC, a fun school where, you're getting a great education, you're going to get a good degree, but it's a big school. You're going to play club, which is fine. I mean, playing club nowadays, you still got to go play junior for the most part.
And it's kind of expensive.
It's insanely, yeah.
I have a friend of mine, his nephew came from New York. Well, you know him, Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Hey, Tommy. I love you, Tommy. But his older nephew, the other nephew, we'll talk about him later. He's no joke. But his older nephew moved and went down to Ole Miss.
Oh, really?
And he's playing club hockey in Ole Miss, and they got a game, I think, next week or the week after up in Clarksville. So he's going to go see his
that's awesome.
his nephew. So that's going to be pretty cool.
That would be the premier club location. Ole Miss.
Oh, yeah, wow.
That would be a lot of fun.
That's where Sarah went. My fiance. She
Oh,
went to Ole
really?
Miss, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
So we got a little SEC blood in the family now.
There we go.
I didn't know anything about the SEC until I moved to Nashville, and I didn't realize it's like religion here.
Yeah. Oh, we're from the north.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the first thing when I moved here. What church you go to and what SEC cool school you got? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I was like, my buddy of mine would take me to Ole Miss games. So now I'm like, yay, let's go Ole Miss. And then I picked a team. I said, because they're like, what's your favorite football team? I go, Rutgers. What's a Rutgers?
That's so funny.
What's a Rutgers?
Yeah, what's a Rutgers?
And I'm like, it's Rutgers. Come on, go Rutgers.
But like rugby?
yeah, exactly. What is a Rutgers? I don't know. But Rutgers was my team, and they always said. But then after he's like, no, you got to pick an SEC team. I'm like, okay, Vanderbilt, because they always suck. So there's zero expectations.
Not always.
Not this year.
Not always, baby.
anymore.
No, I know, but I've been here for 15 years. I am the old timer.
I thought they were going to get relegated out of the SEC at one point.
They should have.
Yeah.
The stadium wasn't worked on like in my entire lifetime. It was 40-some years before they renovated. Now it looks pretty good.
Does it?
They've
They're
got
still
that
doing
new little
renovations,
section.
right?
They've finished most of them,
Okay.
but it actually looks kind of sharp, and it's got Nashville in the background.
Does it really?
And they might be here to stay, man.
Did they do the thing fingers too? Did they do?
It's until one of
Anchor
the
down.
bigger Power
Anchor
5
down.
school rips away Clark Lee at some point,
Yeah, that's
just
what
like
they
they
will.
did James Franklin.
That's exactly. Where is he at now, Franklin? Is he in?
He just got
Penn State just got
fired.
fired.
That's right.
See this guy? He's in
See,
hockey
That's the
mode.
best. That's the best gig in the world. Get a college football coaching job, get fired, and then get your guaranteed pay.
Sit back and
afterwards.
be an analyst or
Yeah.
do a podcast
Yeah.
like us.
No, I think he wants to coach again. He may go to Florida. I think they fired Napier
They
just,
did, yeah.
just to get him,
Yeah.
which is like
I thought they were talking John Gruden. They were talking John Gruden.
man.
That guy's a character. I'd like to have
is.
a beer with that guy.
Absolutely. I met him in the airport.
Did you really?
I felt
Was he a cool dude?
He was great, and he's like, "Hey, where's the Tampa flight?" And I'm like, I think it's over there. It's over that way.
Have you seen his unboxing on
Oh, they're
TikTok?
great. They're great,
Where he
man.
gets all these,
Yeah.
they're like D3 schools, and they send him this big box of like
We should send him a beer
and
league.
helmets and all kinds of stuff. And he opens, and he can spout off so many details about the history of the school, like Southwest Illinois.
Yeah.
And then he just goes on for like 10 minutes, and you're just watching the whole thing like, oh my God, this is awesome.
Yeah, he's comedy. He's pure comedy.
He is good. He was damn intimidating.
Yeah.
My daughter goes, "Dad, that's John Gruden." I'm like, I gotta go say hi to him. I took a picture with him.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're like curled up into a ball." I go,
Yeah.
just him talking to me was intimidating. Yes, sir. It's over there. The gate's over there. And he's like, "Yeah."
You actually had nothing to say for a change.
Yeah, I know.
We got to go back to junior hockey. We
Yeah,
got
no, I'm
off.
sorry. John Gruden. Let's get back to juniors.
But yeah, no. So I didn't really. I grew up playing baseball, football, hockey. The rinks at home take their ice out in the summers, so skating's not an option. And roller hockey never really took off in my area like it has in Nashville. I know it's taken off in Nashville like crazy.
Yeah.
And so when hockey season was over, it was right to baseball season. And then baseball went through the summer, and then two-a-days started for football. And then hockey started shortly after, a couple weeks into the football season.
I want to stop there on that comment right there.
Yeah.
Now we see all these kids. I mean, hockey year round.
Yep.
Hockey year round. You as an advocate of this, of playing different sports, multiple sports, and I saw a video of Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson said there's no way that he could be successful nowadays. You couldn't play two sports now at the level that he played at. So what do you feel as a coach, but yet you've done it on that time frame? What would you suggest to kids today? I mean, obviously you have your younger kids,
Yep.
you have your middle kids, and you have your older kids.
Yep.
And what would you suggest with that people?
I can play devil's advocate for this on both sides. I am a believer in play multiple sports until maybe a certain age. You don't have to play multiple travel sports. Like that's what I think people get off on the wrong track is, they want their kid to play at the highest level of every sport. You can play travel hockey and just play recreational baseball or recreational lacrosse.
The
whatever
beauty
it
of
is.
rec. I mean,
Yeah.
rec is a lost art.
Yeah.
It is so nice
so
after
many-
travel.
With how expensive all the travel stuff is too, like you're nuts if you're playing multiple travel sports. But
Are you looking at me? He's looking at me.
No,
he's looking, I
just
think
made
he wanted
the
to.
team.
He swung at me. That's the third team he's
He
on
didn't
now.
know.
No, I don't mess with you.
No, I mean, hey, if you can afford it, kudos to you. But yeah, I think for me, I loved football and I loved baseball, and I would give anything to go play one more Friday night football game under the lights in front of all your classmates. But I hated practice. I hated football practice, especially in New York. Like after 2 weeks, you
Cold,
get freezing rain.
ice, snow,
Practice. It's miserable. Baseball, I was a catcher in baseball. I had to play catcher because if I didn't touch the ball every play, I'd be falling asleep.
Catcher whisperer over
I loved
here.
it. And baseball was probably my best sport. Cool. I really enjoyed it. But hockey, like, there's just something about playing hockey that I can't describe, and I don't want to be that person. Like, oh, if you haven't played, you don't know. But when you truly step on the ice and play hockey and start to get good, there's just a different love for just being on the ice, whether it's by yourself, shooting pucks around, or practice, or anything. Like, practices were just as much fun as the games for me.
Well, I always said, too, nothing like a 6 o'clock in the morning, fresh cut ice, and you're the first person on the ice. It is it's like peace.
Yeah.
And you hear your skates.
No better sound.
You're like, oh, this is awesome. The smell of the rink. Even though it's like crisp and smelly and mildewy, some rinks have it.
Not here.
Not here. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
hey,
we're spoiled here.
yes, we are.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's exactly that feeling, and that is, I get that feeling of the whole situation of a hockey rink, or to me, the first time your pond froze.
No better feeling.
No better feeling.
Especially if it's smooth, too. I mean, I still skated on the...
There's a log.
It's so funny. Kids nowadays will complain about, like, oh, he sucks. I'm like, you guys don't even know what bad ice is. Like, I need my skate sharpened at 5/8. I'm like, dude, you're 80 pounds soaking wet.
It's hysterical you say that. People are like, oh, I got to get my skate sharpened. I'm like, my kid is not strong enough on his skates to get him dulled out. No, I always left. They're like, oh, I got to get him sharpened 3 times a week. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Unless he's kicking the damn goalpost. Or he's stepping on the metal.
Yeah, walking up and down the bleachers.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, don't stop. And oh, his skates are dull. Oh, he's not going to have a good game today. I'm like, no, he's going to be just fine.
He'll be just fine. Yeah, he'll be just fine. But yeah, so I think playing multiple, like for me, it always made me so much more excited for hockey season. There was no burnout factor for me because it was like, all right, I haven't played hockey in a couple months. Like, I'm pumped. I can't wait for the season to start. And I think, on the flip side of that, if you're playing hockey all year round, you're going to get a lot better a lot quicker. Mm-hmm. And so what you're seeing now, not just in Nashville, but just across the world, is how good these kids are getting at a young age. I mean, you got freaking 9-year-olds doing the Michigan, and I wouldn't even, wouldn't even dream of doing that in a men's league game.
You start a fight.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stop you a little bit again too. I'm sorry for doing this.
No, you're good, man.
But I do notice the originality and the way the game is played now, and you nailed it. These kids are so good.
So good.
The talent, the skill of these kids, because they're playing all year round. But they're stupid. Mm-hmm. The game is not a real game to them. I'm going to be so much faster than this other kid instead of the game itself.
Too much McDavid highlights, and not enough. Let me just throw a game on and watch the period. That's how I taught myself. I didn't have we had dad nothing against dad coaches, but they brought their kid to the rink and they're like, I guess I'm the only one that really knows anything about the game and can skate. Yeah, I'll coach. And they're like travel organizations now. They're treated like pro organizations. Like we're doing video and nothing wrong with it. It's great. We're evolving as
society,
sport, as a society. But it wasn't like that when I was growing up. We went to the rink, we did our practice, and we went home, and that was it. But I got my fix. Like I really started to get obsessed with the sport when I was like 12, 13, 14 years old. Mm-hmm. Crosby was my idol. I just love the way he plays. He's so good. And I remember this is when YouTube started coming out, and I would go on YouTube and I would Sidney Crosby practice highlights. I would watch how he practiced. I would watch how he skated.
Were you shooting into the washing machine?
No, I had an actual net. It's funny you say that, though. I did sneak the net down into my parents' basement, and they had uncovered pipes and stuff, so I'd be crushing the crossbar up on the ceiling, and luckily I didn't break a pipe. But I would go down. Yeah, dude, I would go down, and I had a stereo. I would put the stereo on. I would shoot pucks for hours. I had a bucket of pucks. I had 2 sticks of one. I taped pucks around the bottom to weigh it down, and I would shoot with a weighted stick for an hour and a half, dripping sweat.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, and then I would take and I wouldn't just like take shots aimlessly. Like I would watch how guys that played on TV were shooting and the different styles of shooting and different types of shots, and I would just practice those for hours.
I know that
on a day.
The new Connor Bedard, the pull rip. That's a whole new shooting thing, and a lot of these kids now are bang,
Yeah.
you're like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy.
Absolutely. So, that's when my dedication started, and just I loved every minute of it, and I had the dream of I want to play in the NHL, and obviously it didn't come true, but
He's got him on. Man. There you go.
yeah. See, there we go.
Sid the Kid.
So good.
That was a sick play.
Is there,
Used in
and,
that.
and by the way, is he a little bitchy to the refs for sure? Complains a little bit, but is there a better role model in the game of hockey than that guy? I mean, has he not one scandal, not one thing you ever heard bad about him?
We had a guest here on the show. A friend of mine's a coach up in New York, up in Long Island, and it was one of our parts of the show is to get off my lawn rant, and one was Ovechkin or Crosby. And he nailed it. He did nail it. Paul, you nailed it, bud. You did. He says Ovechkin gets off my lawn. Not because he's the greatest goal scorer ever, especially in an era right now where goalies are insane. Everything is goal scoring is down from what it was from Wayne Gretzky. He goes Sidney Crosby. He goes, he's just a class act. And he goes, he saw Ovechkin when he was going to the playoffs against the Islanders. It was in a meeting, and the team was in a hotel, and everyone's in suits. Ovechkin's in like a T-shirt and sweats running by him.
Yeah.
Late to the meeting. He goes, Crosby would be there an hour before the meeting, getting ready in a suit, basically knowing what he was going to tell the team.
Yeah.
That's the difference. So he goes, Ovechkin, get off his lawn.
Can I tell you? It's funny you say that. Can I tell you a funny, not a funny Crosby story, but a Crosby story that? So when I was a senior in college, I did an internship with the Preds, the spring semester of 2017. So this is when they made that deep playoff run and they were in the Cup Finals and stuff. And I got to be down on the event level doing some prep or whatever. And the Pens before a game were playing two-touch, which is that soccer game that they play where they kick the ball back and forth. Mm-hmm. And Crosby was playing me from me to you away. And I remember I was so I got starstruck, but I don't really get starstruck anymore just because Nashville, people you meet in Nashville, it's you get used to it a little bit. But I remember he kicked a ball and he knocked over a thing of garbage all over the floor. And one of the arena workers went to go pick it up. And he was like, no, I can do it. And he picked up all the garbage, swept it up, put it in the garbage after all his teammates had gone. Just little things like that. It's and that's why when I coach now, I emphasize to the kids, clean up the locker room, leave it better than you found it. Respect the rink like you do your home. Just little lessons that, it's not sport focused, but those are things that I gained out of sports: how to be a decent person, decent human, treat everybody with respect, and be a role model. There's a reason why people look up to athletes. Athletes are role models. And
it's funny now. You just brought up another story with what I'm thinking too, and this one still bothers me. Still, I'm a big Shea Weber fan. Mm-hmm. Love Shea Weber. I was so pissed that the Preds traded him for PK Junk band. PK Junk. He's a junk. Look at me. I'm a slew footer junk. Anyway, don't bring it up. We'll do a rant now. Do a rant now.
I can't wait to hear
that.
these rants.
Yeah.
Flash.
But I loved Shea Weber. I used to go to the games. I went here in 2010, and I would just sit and watch him. Everything he moved, it's just everything. He made everyone better around him.
Yep.
When he got traded to Montreal, and this was a story, and it's a true story too. He was in Montreal, and something happened in the locker room, and the guy was picking his bag up. Picking his bag up, and the guy goes, "No, we have guys for that." He goes, "We're doing it ourselves. Pick up your damn bags."
Yeah.
So that right there, to me, shows me what a leader is.
Yeah.
And that guy, Shea Weber, is the awesomest captain, and I'm still pissed to trade him.
You can tell it's the blue collar in him.
Yeah, and I was always great with that type of stuff. To me, I just loved it, and just there he is, Shea.
I just love seeing any, whether it's a pro athlete or a musician or not, just act like regular people. Be a respectful person and treat everybody it bothers me when people get to a certain status and they think they're better than everyone else. And it's so off-putting.
So I look up and I look at one of these shows and I see Austin Matthews. Oh, God. I'm sorry. I just, that whole, that, all he cares about what he wears, and then that's why PK Subban, that's all he cared about, what he wears.
A little too much about them.
Yeah, it's the me monster.
Yeah.
And PK, and he was me. Look at me. Look at this Shea. Look at him. Yeah, man, that guy was great right there, Shea. I got a couple jerseys of him, I'll tell you.
Respect for the guys taking shots off the shins from that guy.
The guy's a beast. Oh, my God. Look, Poyle. He lost an eye. That's terrible to say, but sorry. But, yeah,
he was nasty.
But yeah, so all right, let's get back to that.
I'll ramble a lot too.
I
so
love
if we
it.
get off
Oh,
track, that's on me.
You were talking about multiple sports.
Yeah.
How do you approach that from a coach now when you maybe have a player who is playing football, maybe, or some other, maybe there's some soccer that overlaps? How do you try to deal with it when you're like, well, hey, you got to come to practice, or maybe there's a conflict? It's great to say, I want multiple sport athletes, but when it comes down to the actual practice, how do you manage that with people?
I'm very encouraging of kids playing multiple sports. I mean, I get why they would want to just focus on hockey because you feel like you fall behind if you're not playing all year round. And in a sense, at an early age, you are a little bit. But no, I'm very encouraging. If you got, if we got practice and you got a football game, and I've had this scenario more than a few times over the last couple of years. Go to your football game. Football season, the travel hockey season goes from now freaking August to end of March. So if you miss a couple practices for me for football, I know football is going to be over mid-November. I know I got you for the rest of the year.
Football is nice because you get used to the contact.
Absolutely,
Jack
dude.
was in 5th grade and played, and there was some overlap and stuff. But it's just the beginning. You're going to be in good shape from football, but you're not going to be scared.
No, not at all. That's what I'm so grateful that I played football because you can say hockey's violent, man, but there's no sport more violent. I mean, besides UFC, no sport more violent than football.
And you used to love to watch a guy turn his head and he's running across the middle, and you're like, yes, this guy's gonna get lit
Some people
up.
love it. It's so violent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I encourage that stuff. Play multiple sports because the better athlete you become, I really believe in your later teen years, your 15, which is really when it matters if you're good. Nobody cares if you're the best 10-year-old hockey player in the world right now. Like,
Say that again. Say that again.
Some people care.
Some people do care.
And you know what? Kudos if you're nasty at hockey and you're 11 years. I hope that it stays that way.
Yeah.
I just think of myself and I get burnt out easy. I've been burnt out from hockey before, where all you're doing is just coaching all day, every day. It's hockey. It gets a little old after a while. So
what sport, if there is a multiple sport that you think is the most useful? Is it baseball? Is it football for the hits?
Lacrosse. Yeah, I mean, for hockey, you mean?
Yeah. Which do you think?
I think football is great for hockey. Just building up toughness, compete. If you don't compete in football, you ain't getting on the field. And that's one of the things that I feel like lacks a lot in the youth hockey world is just kids and how they compete and. Not to be cliche, but kind of be cliche. Like you hate to lose more than you love to win. And yeah,
sound like Shozy.
Yeah, that's a good show, by the way. I laugh.
I got the sticker on the back of my ears.
There you go.
There you go.
It's over there.
It's my sticker.
Yeah, but I'd say football, lacrosse, baseball. I mean, anything where you're just using other motor skills and just again becoming a better athlete.
I'm surprised that you were a catcher and you didn't want to play goalie.
I played goalie one time and I let in 17 goals. I said never again. It was the weirdest thing. I couldn't skate. You can't, like when you put pads on, you can't like straighten your legs out.
It's different.
It was the weirdest thing. So I remember I was like 7 years old. You know how you get like random memories from your young years? Mm-hmm. This is a random memory that I have, and I remember stepping on the ice and I could not skate because my legs couldn't extend because of the pads, and I was so frustrated. I couldn't stand up, and I let in like 17 goals. I told my dad, I was like, never do that ever again. But yeah, so I think any sport's good, and don't get me wrong, you can still focus on hockey all year long. Mm-hmm. Like if you're a football player, you don't have to do private football lessons. Like it doesn't really take a whole lot of skill to be willing to run full speed into somebody.
Get stronger.
Yeah.
Hits weights, run fast.
Exactly. And all that stuff's going to benefit you for hockey. Like I remember I got into the weight room when I was about 12 years old for football because we had weight training programs, and I noticed immediately my ability on the ice getting better. I shoot harder. I could skate faster. I was getting bumped off the puck a lot less. And so they tie hand in hand. But, I think on the other side of things, not just hockey, but sports in general, it's shifted so much into a business. Like private lessons were never a thing when I was growing up. Now it's everybody's getting them, and if you don't get them, you feel like your kid's falling behind.
It's the arms race, yeah.
It is
Yeah.
the arms race.
That's one of the reasons we're doing this, is to try to help people navigate through it.
And it's exactly, I mean, one of the shows we did, and he looked it up, and it's a $40 billion industry.
Yeah, that's how I've survived over the last few years.
I mean, no, exactly. Hats off.
I did everything I could to avoid sitting behind a desk at a 9 to 5. And
Well, we got off your story.
Yeah.
We started talking.
sorry.
sorry,
No,
you were.
I'm like, you give me a couple
He's
beers
good.
too,
That's
dude,
all
I'll
right.
rant.
He's the guy. He brings us back, and he's.
I
it's
want to
like when
get
a
to
kid's-
the business because you studied sports business, and
Yeah.
that was a sort of a new thing probably 20 years ago. But how did you finish your hockey career? You said you were like close
Yeah.
to NCAA, and then you were last cut. And then what did you decide to do after that?
Yeah, so it's funny. I went to that school, and we were in the middle of a cow pasture. I mean, there was nothing but the town was so small. Our McDonald's closed down.
Ooh.
Like that's when you know you're in a small town.
And the subway didn't even come up.
Yeah, no. So, I went there. They had a beautiful facility, brand new rink. So, I played on our club team for the first year, which ended up folding after the first month because nobody paid their dues. And then I did try out for the team the second year. We got a new coach. The coach got fired after our freshman year. Nobody liked him. Not the reason why I got cut. I'm not a blame game guy, but no. Second year, I did try out again. I had much better try. I actually felt good going in, but they just had too many recruits, guys that they had committed to, and same thing. Made it to the last cuts, diced again, and from there we didn't have a club program anymore because just nobody wanted to pay to play, and we ended up playing men's league in one of the local leagues up there. But it was really cool at our college. So Canton, we were in the same town as St. Lawrence University. They have Division I hockey program. And so right around their campus, they actually had an outdoor rink, like a legit outdoor rink that was free for the public. So after class in the winters, and the winters
That's
up there were
beautiful.
brutal.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
We would go out, we'd play shinny and play pickup games every day after class. It was the best. And so we just played men's league from there on out, and I kind of came to grips with the fact that the playing days were over, and it was just men's league from there, and it was still fun. Like
You mean beer league?
Beer league, yeah,
There we
beer
go.
league. Sorry, not men's league. Beer league. But it was still like, even to today when I play beer league. When I play beer league, like I'm like a kid out there, man. I love it. There's nothing else that I can do for an hour where my brain is not. You know what I mean? Like you step on the ice, you're playing a game, and you're not thinking about anything else. You're just having fun. And so that's
It's like going back in time to being young.
Yeah, for sure. It's a little nostalgic.
And then he has the locker room. That's even more.
That's the best part. That's the best part. So then, I just kind of had a little sour taste in my mouth after that because I hated the school I was going to, even though I had met some of my best friends at that school. Sour taste in my mouth, like all the what ifs, like, man, what if I just played a second year or junior? Would I have gotten recruited somewhere? Because I really didn't find my stride in junior until the last probably 2 months of the season. I really took off, and I went from third line to first line, and I was doing really well, got comfortable.
And I'm sorry to interrupt, but what would you play? Were you center? Were you winger?
I was a center. Okay. Yeah, center.
He was good.
Yeah. So there's, the what ifs start to creep in. And then it's just funny how it all ties together because I would not be in Nashville right now had I not left junior, gone to Canton, and that's how I got my internship with the Preds that led me to Nashville was through my sports management program at SUNY Canton. Okay. So if I didn't go there, I wouldn't be here. I would not have met my soon-to-be wife, Sarah. Beautiful. I wouldn't have Madeline. So I'm at so much peace with everything and how it's all worked out, more so than I've ever been. So, but a lot of lessons learned, and I was the first generation hockey player in my family, so I relate to a lot of the families down here. Most of the kids are first generation hockey players here. So just trying to help, guide families and help them understand and talk some sense into some people. And I know I'm sure we'll get into this conversation in a little bit, and you can stop me if I'm getting off track, but the amount of people that are freaking out if their kids aren't studs at 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, 13 years old. I'm like, dude, who cares?
Well, see, I'm going to stop you there because you see it on the ice.
Yeah.
We see it in the stands. And it's almost like that. Again, we're reverting back to why we're here because we hear it. And I'm a little boisterous. And I tell people like it is, and they get angry at me. People get pissed at me, and you know, I
I've seen
wonder
it.
why.
No fights in the stands
No,
yet?
nah, I won't fight. I'm like, come on, I'm too old.
Got a bad knee.
I've seen a couple.
My back.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, but I've seen it. I mean, it's hard. It's hard for me. I mean, I've lost friends already for saying like, dude, are you out of your mind?
Just with how like they act and behave. And,
Yeah, it's stupid. They act like morons.
Yeah.
They really do. It's like, oh, dude, who cares if your kid's 9 years old and he didn't get to play today? Who cares?
Right.
You know, yeah, all right, your kid scored 10 goals today. Well, guess what? When he gets older, he's not going to score 10 goals. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean? He's not going to score 10 goals.
Yeah.
You go, listen, because your kid's the fastest skater now.
Yep.
Tomorrow, he's not going to be the fastest skater.
Yeah.
Hey, your kid became the biggest kid now.
Yeah.
Guess what? Everyone catches up.
Yeah.
The systems happen. Everything
Yeah,
happens.
but that's the money, man. That's the arms race where people
Yeah.
pour all this money in, and so they
treat
want to
it as
see
an
something.
investment.
But also, it's intense out there. It's like being in the Coliseum, you know? I mean, especially when they start hitting. Emotions run high and stuff, and people just kind of, sometimes they lose it.
The one thing I'll say about that, this is another memory that I have as a kid. I remember playing youth. I was like 8, 9 years old. I was not old at all. I was still very brand new. And I remember just thinking how fast the game was out there. Like everything's happening so fast. And then years later, my parents, like they took a video of when I was younger and they showed me and I'm like, no way.
I know exactly.
No way is
like-
that us on the ice right now. It's like watching paint dry. It
Yeah.
was so bad. But that's how it is to these kids. To the kids, it feels like NHL pace. Everything's happening so fast. And to us in the stands and on the bench, it's like, how do you not see that play? Or how do you, you know, but until you've been there, done that, I hate saying that because you can still know a lot about the game having not played the game.
Yeah.
But it is an experience that will open your eyes to, okay, what are these kids really going
It's
through?
different because with hockey, you've got to crawl for a long time before
Yeah.
you can even play the sport.
For sure.
You know, just about every other sport, you can get out there, throw the football, you can kick a ball, you can throw a lacrosse.
You got to be good at two sports. Skating.
It really
and
is
hockey.
two sports in one.
You know,
Yeah.
you really. Charles Barkley said it.
Yeah.
You know, he says, you know, you got to be good at two sports.
Yeah.
Any hockey player is a better athlete than any other player.
Yeah, if you put any other athlete through basic hockey drills and any hockey player through basic football drills or baseball drills, but I mean, you're skating on 3/8 of an inch of steel on frozen water.
It's pretty.
It's pretty gnarly.
You know what you said before too. It's like you see these parents and you see, oh, why? What do you mean my 9-year-old kid's not the best? Do you get pressure as a coach and as a skills coach, a development coach? You know, and sometimes you can look at a kid and you go, I know, hey, listen, it's a business. We all know it's a business and everything. And you know, you can look at a kid and go, yeah, he may have something.
Yeah.
Or you can look at a kid and go, and to look at the parents, to be honest, it's got to be a very hard decision to say, hey, listen, let him play house league, let him enjoy it, let him enjoy the game, and then when that happens, maybe come back to me tomorrow, or come back to me in a couple of years to see if he still has this joy. Because I'm sure you see kids that are thrown out there to you, the parents like, gotta play, he's gonna skate, he's got to be the man, and the kid's going, butterflies.
Yeah.
Butterflies.
Yeah.
Let's do it. You know, and to have that conversation with some parents it's got to be tough.
We have 4 hours to talk here.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I did it.
No, I mean, I could go on a huge rant about this.
You want my rant, son? You got it. It's yours. You can do it. You can scream.
Second hour thing.
It's-
can't rant in the first hour.
When it's
We
all
may
said
have to
and-
do the part 2 if you want.
when it's all said and done, man, I've said this for a couple years. I'm going to write a book on just the trials and tribulations of youth hockey. The stories that I have over the years is wild. But yeah, the pressure, I don't feel the pressure because I'm honest with people. Like, but not saying like, yeah, your kid sucks. Just your kid's not at this level yet. And there's nothing wrong with that. I was not at that level at that age. And it's really difficult. I feel like it's difficult for parents to hear it from someone because they're all older than me, right? And I look like I'm 21. I'm really 31.
You are, babe. My wife does. She's always like, "Oh, Patrick, I love Patrick. He's so sweet." And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to hang out with Patrick.
I got a baby face.
Yeah.
But you know, I think it's difficult for parents to hear from someone that's younger, like trying to give them wisdom. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I've been there, done that. I know how much things change over the course of puberty, full contact. alcohol, girls. Those are the 4 things I say. Like, you think you have a player on your hands, let him get through those 4 things, and if he comes out on top, then
And you got
maybe
it.
he's got
Yeah.
something. But yeah, like, so much changes. Like, I was a horrible player at, not horrible, but I was not nearly the best player on the team at 10, 11, 12 years old. And then puberty hit, my dedication level went up, and it wasn't the next year that I saw the results, but it was a culmination of all that work over the course of a year, 2 years, 3 years. And then the next thing I know, I'm 14, 15 years old, and I'm blowing all the kids out of the water that, you know, were way better than me a number of years ago. So, you know, I don't tell parents like, oh, your kid sucks, they should quit hockey. It's okay.
That's bad business.
I was gonna say,
They'll figure that out on their own.
yeah, but you know, it's more or less of, hey, you just gotta be patient. Make sure they love it. Like, are they gonna love hockey any less if they're coming to play on a single A team versus a double A team? They're probably not even gonna know the freaking difference. Just tell them, hey, yeah, you made the team. This is what you're playing.
on something like that too, like single A to double A. Would you suggest to a parent, like in this whole thing about this, would you suggest to a parent? I know it's different with different age groups, but if a kid goes, hey, I made the double A team, and you go, well, he's on the bottom third of the team. All right, he's on the bottom third. He's getting maybe, he's a third liner. Or would you suggest to them, hey, would it be better for you to be on the first line on single A? Because you can go about this 2 ways. Reason why I would say you're practicing with better players and you're practicing all the time, but the game situations, you're not that role. You're not the power play. You're not the shorthanded. You're not that kid.
Yep.
But when you go play single A, you're on that top line. You're on the power play. You're on the shorthanded unit. But your practice, you're not playing with the top players.
Yeah.
What would you suggest on something like that? If I'm like my kid, okay, I'm on that line. I know what I would say, but it's just some of the parents out there would be. It'd be pretty cool.
I think it depends on the age a little bit, but at the younger ages, I mean, like 14 and younger, like I loved the game, and I grew up because scoring goals, getting assists, having an impact on the game, that's what really like made me love it. I didn't start loving hockey because I made a team, was the worst player on the team. Our team did really well, and I just rode the coattails. Like, that wouldn't be fun for me. I want to have an impact on the game. And so, I mean, what I would say is, you want your kid to get really good at this game, they need to be passionate about it. If they're not passionate about it, they're not going to go home and put the work in away from the rink.
Yep.
And if they're on a team where they're fourth line, they're not getting into those situations, they don't feel like they have an impact on the game, you know what I mean? Then they're not going to love it. They're not going to have a passion for it. So you want them to be in a situation, especially at the younger ages, you want them to be in a situation where they're having a huge impact on every single game, and that's going to boost their self-esteem, their confidence.
That's perfect.
That's going to drive passion for the game. And it's okay if that level's at an A2 level, at a single A level, at a double A level, at a triple A level. It's not a race to get there. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've heard interviews of guys playing in the NHL that, I didn't make triple A until I was 15, or even a couple of them. I think Tanner Jeannot, he didn't play triple A at all. He played double A through 18U, and
it's a throwback too. That kid's a throwback.
Found his own path, but everybody's got a different path, and I feel like, especially, I think social media has driven it a lot too, because and I don't blame them, but parents like to brag on their kids a little bit. So, little Johnny made AAA, let me make Facebook. I get it.
It's like the baseball. I always said a bit. Look at me, I got the ring.
Yeah.
I went to lower the leg. I got a ring.
Yeah, so I'll probably do the same thing with Maddie when she's
will.
older. But
You will.
But I think that fear of being left out, that FOMO, and people, it's added a lot more pressure. Like, if my kid's not playing at X level with his friends who are at that level, then we're falling behind. My kid doesn't stand a chance anymore. That's just not the case. I'll go back to this, like, the amount of people that I've given a lot of hockey lessons over the last several years, and to some kids it's been weekly for the last 5 years. For some kids it's just been once or twice. And the amount of times, like, that parents will sign their kids up for lessons, whether the kid wants to do it or not, and they expect that, sign them up for a lesson or 2 lessons right before tryouts. All of a sudden, my kid's going to make it. Like, that's not how it works.
No.
You got to put some respect on the sport. It's a very difficult sport to get really good at, and the amount of dedication and commitment it takes to get good at this sport is insane.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to sacrifice your video games. You got to sacrifice hanging out with friends on the weekends. You got to sacrifice your fall vacations wherever you're going. Like it's work,
and
man.
you got to
It's not
start.
easy.
And you got to start sacrificing other sports.
For sure.
And that's where it happens. I guess 14 is the age you're saying.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was going to ask next too. Is like, as a coach, when is that line of player development? You know what? We're done developing. We want to win now. That's a tough sign too, especially on you as a coach to go, okay, I'm developing these kids. What age is that? Excuse me, because it kind of could be. It's weird. I guess it's a weird thing, and it's a weird question to throw at you. But if you see kids like all right, I'm going to develop this kid. We're developing. He's not getting to the point. He's not getting to the point. All right, well, we're at the point now. We need to win games because we'll lose players if we don't win.
Yeah.
They'll jump ship.
Let me stop. Like, everybody talks about development. What does that mean? What does that mean to you, or hockey player development? Are you starting at somebody who's 3 years old, 2 years old, putting skates on, learn how to skate? What does it even mean? Because it's thrown around so much now.
Cool.
What does that mean to you? Because I'll tell you, I think you're the best I've seen in Nashville about it. Because I took Jack out to the lab times before, and it'd be like, you would get out there and you put the little sticks down to make him do like the
Quick feet.
Yeah.
Yep.
And at first he'd like smash all over him, and by the time he were done, he was off the ice. He had it,
Yeah.
and I was like, holy shit, he's got a brand new skill after one session.
He's
Doesn't
dancing now.
Doesn't mean you're going to make the tryouts.
Yeah.
But what is that to you? Because you have a special knack for it.
You did. You were great.
I appreciate that. Tire pumps.
Yeah.
No, I don't think development ever ends. Even in the NHL, development never ends.
That's great. That's perfect.
I think there's minor leagues for a reason. Like guys get drafted into the first round of the NHL draft and they're not ready to play in the NHL because they still need to develop their game. They need to develop the defensive side of the game, their knowledge of, because there's, it's so complex, where you got to be, when you got to be there. There's a lot of shifts that go on in the defensive zone.
Well, how many first round draft picks go straight to the NHL?
Not as many anymore.
No.
Very few. But I think development means something different in every age group. I think for me, the thing that I really strive for development-wise at the younger age groups, because I've coached 10U a lot and I've coached 12U, so I haven't really had a hand in coaching a 16U team. But my development that I really strive for is like my goal at the end of every practice, like make sure the kids have fun at the younger ages. Make sure they have fun. That doesn't mean we're going out there and wasting an hour of practice, but I'm not gonna, I don't want to make it so they're dreading coming back the next day. That kind of defeats the purpose of why they play a sport at a young age. So I would say, at the younger ages, you want to develop their love of the game. Obviously, you got to be creative and how do we mix in drills? How do we work on certain things that are still going to make it fun for the kids? I don't want to just put them in a line and have them do these, inside edge C cuts. I used to do that. I've kind of gotten out of that a little bit. I try to make everything a little bit more game situational, but in a fun way. Let the kids really.
Do you feel that better as the kids get older or even younger?
So even in terms of like how I run my practices.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm coaching our 13 only AA team this year. So their first year full contact. They're a little bit older, a little bit more mature. We're starting to work systems in. We're teaching them about power play, penalty kill. We're a little bit more position specific there.
That's awesome.
So I think that's where development really starts to transition, is when you get to that full contact, because you can't just go coast to coast because I'm a fast skater, I'm going to get killed. Yeah.
Learn the game.
You got to learn the game. You have to really be able to pass the puck, because if you don't, you're going to get hit, which is, I could go in a whole nother conversation about this, but I think hitting should still be starting at 10U.
Absolutely. Do you feel that you should have stop signs on the back of their jerseys?
Why not? I did. Yeah. I learned at a very young age. You don't hit a kid from behind. And is it going to happen every once in a while? For sure. It's going to happen. But, I've coached 10U and 12. Kids are a lot closer in size at that age than they are at the 14U level. And at 14U, you get kids that are learning how to hit for the first time, who's 4'11" still and just is a little bit of a late bloomer, against a kid that early, he's 6'3", 100 pounds on him. So, but yeah, I think development never ends. It's different at every age. But I think the emphasis on winning, for me, probably wouldn't start till 16U. And even then, only 16U AAA. Like, really? AA is, those kids are...
That's awesome that you just said that. I'm sorry. I really think it's beautiful. It's a great comment that you just did. I love it.
My team could go 0-5 on a weekend, and I wouldn't lose an ounce of sleep. Mm-hmm. We could go 5-0, and again, I don't care. Like, great. I love it. You found success. That's awesome. But I would rather lose a hard fought back and forth 3-2 game than win 11-0.
You don't want to get blown out. I get it.
No.
You want to be competitive.
Yeah.
And it's just, as a baseball coach, I coach baseball. I don't care if we win or lose. Just get better tomorrow and be competitive.
For sure.
And, if you go out there and, like, my son plays travel baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we lost again. Oh, we lost again. So what? I go, the score was 4-2. Okay. It's
a good game.
It's not 15-1.
Yeah, 4-2 is a great game.
It's just baseball.
Somebody's got to win and lose.
Exactly. So I don't care.
Yeah.
And I love that answer. I love the 16U is to me. I thought it was a little bit younger.
It is for some coaches. For me, it's like I still roll the bench. I still roll lines. We don't have power play specific lines. My big thing is every kid.
I knew I loved you. I knew I loved you.
Every kid's got to learn this stuff, right? Like we're not playing for the Stanley Cup. We're not playing for a national championship. There's not scouts at our games. Like there's nothing on the line.
Wait. There's no scouts at a 9 or a 10 U hot. What are we doing here?
I hate to break it to people. Yeah. No one cares if your kid's the best 11-year-old hockey player in the world. No one cares. You're going to get invited to go to a lot of tournaments in the summer, and that's great.
Oh, summer hockey?
If you can afford it, God bless you. But, I just think that recruiting is different, right? Like Division I schools, they start looking at kids at 14 years old, 15. But if you're going Division I, like you have a pretty good idea at a 14. I would say I would put it more like this. If you have the aspirations to go in Division I, you better be putting up 1.5, 2 points a game at the AAA level by the time you're 14 years old. Correct. If you're not, you could still do it, yeah, but you got to think like your competition that are getting those 1, 2, 3 spots on every Division I team every year. They're putting up those numbers.
You got to dominate at AAA.
Got to dominate.
Yeah.
And
even like the showcases. You have to dominate those showcases.
There's so many kids there. You got to stand out. And most of those showcases are money grabs for those teams.
Didn't I say that last episode?
600 a pop.
600 a pop, and they go, we're not taking anybody.
You're paying for their season.
Yep.
I wondered about the showcases. You got to dominate. You got to stick out. You got 3 games. How do people not showboat? Like, how do you get people to work together? They don't know each other. They might.
So
it's random. I mean, how do you evaluate somebody for being selfless, like for getting the apple? What is that even like when?
I'm an old school guy. So I went to 2 showcases when I was a senior in high school. That's when, like I told you, I started really getting serious into it. I went to 2 showcases, and I sought out the coach, and I went up and introduced myself, shook his hand, looked him in the eye, and said, I'm Patrick Murray, I'm excited to be here, this or that. Just like something that maybe he'll remember my name. And I say, hey, I'm number 61, by the way. And then, for me, it was about compete, throwing hits. I was not a guy to drop the gloves, so maybe I didn't have what it took to get to that level, because sometimes, that's what it takes. But, I would just try to be the hardest worker on the ice. And when I evaluate kids at tryouts, that's what I look for, is how hard is a kid competing? How hard is he battling for a puck? If he loses the battle, what's he doing after? And so it's little things like that.
I love that because that was one of my questions too.
Yeah.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I just think that stuff, for me at least, it sticks out. And the only reason it sticks out for me is because that's what stuck out for my coaches growing up. And so that's what I preach to my kids.
So you're more grit than skill.
I think if you have all the skill in the world, but you don't have the grit, there's no chance you're going to make it.
Yeah.
There's no chance.
Okay.
You have to, because coaches can teach skill. Coaches can work with skill. It's really difficult to coach compete.
Yeah.
You either have it, I feel like, or you don't. And if you don't, it's something that you have to consciously be aware of by some honest feedback from a coach, and something to try to get better at. But I've talked to scouts and coaches at higher levels, and certainly like even the Preds coaches pick their brains, and that's what they look for, number one, in a player. Besides being a good teammate, like people shove that aside like it don't matter. Like that matters.
Oh no, that's huge.
That matters.
Yeah.
If you're not a good teammate, if you get the reputation of not being a good teammate, you will get blackballed, and you're setting yourself up for failure.
That's awesome you say that too, because if you get black, now let's throw a little angle at you too. If a parent gets blackballed
all the time, I've cut kids because
You have? Okay.
I don't want to get myself in trouble, but
No.
every coach has.
I know I have in
we-
baseball. I won't.
Yeah.
We go into draft and we go, I'm not taking that kid because that parent's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
That one I'll take because the mom's hot. But
Yeah, and you know, it's a kid that's like on the cusp. If it's a kid that clearly needs to be on the team, the
You kinda
organization,
overlook- yeah,
yeah,
you
you kind
overlook
of. But yeah, parents can absolutely get in the way. As coaches, like I didn't get into this to get rich. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I started coaching, and it kind of just snowballed.
Yeah.
And you know, we don't make enough money to put up and deal with some of the stuff that, you know,
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
love
Parents
it.
can get in the way. And I remember when I was younger, I remember I was a peewee. I was in a tournament. My dad was in the penalty box, and we were at a tournament in Buffalo, and the ref must have made a bad call or something. My dad like said, "Hey, ref, you want to borrow my glasses?" And the ref kicked my dad out of the game, and I was so embarrassed and pissed off. We laugh about it now, but yeah, parents. Long story short, like absolutely, you want to just the role you want to play as a parent. Be supportive of your kid, and understand that it's all right if they struggle. It's okay if they fail. If they're not getting the ice time, that if they're not playing in the last 5 minutes of the game, because that's how I operate. I roll lines for the entire game. The last 5 minutes of the game are mine.
Yeah.
We'll coach to win at that point.
That's perfect.
But if you're the kids, then teach them a lesson. Okay, you
That's
must work
the whole
harder.
point.
Yeah.
Is how you respond to the adversity.
Right, and that's exactly what my dad said to me when I was growing up. I got cut from a team, and he's like, "You didn't call the director or the coach and scream at him. Why don't you take my, you know?"
Yeah.
It was, you must not be good enough. Work harder, and so that was the lesson I took from it. I don't think there's enough of that anymore. I feel like
Now, when you got cut, did you ask the coach, "What do I need to work on"?
no, there wasn't.
Were you too young at that time?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
too young at that time, but it motivated me.
Yeah.
It definitely, I didn't play the victim. Even when I got cut my first year of college, I got in the gym more.
Perfect.
I really
I wish more
dedicated
people were
myself
like
more.
that, because a lot of times it's, the coach's fault. Coach is a jerk. I'm out of here. I'm not doing this anymore. I mean,
We're building more of a culture of that too with all these
Yeah.
programs. People jump ship all the time, especially at the college level. You know, it's college isn't even college anymore. It's pro.
It is. And the
Football,
whole NIL,
basketball,
especially with this whole juniors thing, now you turn 20 years old, now you're in college. You're like, whoa, wait a second, this freshman's 20 years old, and he's like, look at McKenna, the new guy, the guy from...
And he'll be at Penn State for 1 year.
Yeah, and he'll get drafted, and he'll go to the pros.
Yep.
You know, and that's exactly what's happening now.
Yeah.
That whole, I mean, I don't like it, but I
Yeah.
blame Dion. Sorry, Dion. I blame Dion. But like what you said there, too, because... My son got cut from baseball at middle school baseball last year.
Okay.
And he was all devastated. I'm like, listen, I'm your dad. I know you're good. Okay. Ask him.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he went to the coach, sat down with him, and says, why did I get cut? What do I need to work on?
Yeah.
And the coach was like, whoa, really?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's you becoming a leader and you becoming an adult.
Taking accountability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I said, if you want to go, and I now this year he had his tryouts again, and I said, we're not going to have that feeling again, right? I go, it's up to you. I go, I don't care either way. You make sure you want to make the team. If you want to make the team, great, make it. Bust your butt. And he was busting his butt. And he's out there. But what happened this year? He worked hard. He got his thing. And he made the team this year. So I'm happy for
What
the
a
kids.
concept.
So I'm like,
the more
wow.
work you put in, the better you get. It's a crazy
We're
concept.
old school. Old school, baby. We're old school.
But you know what, though? Like, that is the lesson. That's the purpose of sports. The purpose of sports is not to play and go be a professional. Your chances of being a pro are
.00001%.
and even if you make it to the semi-pros or what, you're making less money than a busboy at a restaurant. Like,
Exactly.
you're not pulling in the big bucks playing in the SPHL.
Yeah.
So but that's like the whole purpose of it. You learn life lessons through sport, and like everything that I learned through playing, football, baseball, hockey, I directly apply to my regular life now. And I go through struggles just like everybody else does professionally. And, instead of just getting down on myself, you pick yourself up and you say,
cool.
hey, I've been through this before.
That's awesome.
I've been through this before. I know how to handle it. I know that if I just put the work in, like, things will get better. And you have to have a little bit of trust. But
How do you try to instill that to your teams now?
Well, number one, I have a parent meeting at the beginning of every season. So I I don't want to say educate the parents and give them my wisdom, but I just have a real conversation with them.
Set the expectation.
Yeah, set the expectation. I have a real conversation with them like we're having here. I'm truthful. And with the kids, I have conversations with the kids. So at the beginning of this season, we had a team-only meeting in the locker room, and I had every kid go around, raise his hand, say his name, and what their goal is with hockey, because we're playing hockey, right? So, like, tell everyone what your goal is with hockey, and all the kids, for the most part, I want to play college hockey, this or that. And so I was just very blunt with them. I said, okay, if that's what your expectations are, if you want to play, even if it's Acha club hockey now, you have to be a stud. You have to be a really good player. And it's not easy to be a good player. You can't go home and play 4 hours a fortnight every single day and expect, you can't come to the rink for a Tuesday, Thursday practice and think that that's enough to get better. There's
it's
nothing
like studying. You study for the test.
There's nothing in the world you can do for 2 hours a week and see significant improvement in.
No.
And so as a parent, I tell them, like, you can't force your kids to do it, number one, because that's just going to create resentment. And I've played with kids growing up who their dad, like, the second they got in the car, screamed at them. And I remember this one time I was sitting next to a teammate of mine, and he just looked like he wanted nothing to do with going on the ice. And I was like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "I fucking hate this sport. Like, I hate hockey. I can't wait to quit." And he was one of the best players on our team, but his dad just rode him all the time and just took the fun out of the game for him. And so I tell parents, like, you got to let your kid drive the bus.
Yeah.
However you can financially support them, don't cripple yourself financially
That's a huge thing
for this sport. You still got to set your family up for post youth sports, but whatever you can afford, like, let them drive the bus. And if you see the dedication and the hard work, let them have it.
I'm going to suggest something to you, and I do this for my baseball because I just retired baseball, and I do it.
You're not coaching anymore?
No, I'm done. I'm done. You just got to listen to that episode.
Episode 10.
10. There you go. My retirement. Okay. I'm done. I just let There's a time and a place when when you have you will have a son. I'm telling you now.
I hope so.
Yes,
I hope so.
You will, and even your daughter playing. She's going to play hockey. She is.
Golf.
There you go. Better.
Golfer.
But you'll teach her, and then to a point you go, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't teach him anymore. Someone else can.
Yep.
That book right there, the Matheny Manifesto, is every time I sat down with my expectations meeting for the parents the first day, I throw my expectations out to every parent, what I feel, what's going on. I used to say there's no scouts in the outfield. I don't care.
Yep.
Don't want to do it. You please, if you get a chance, read that book, do audio book. The Matheny Manifesto is the greatest book for any parent to read in youth sports. And then after that, it's called, for you as a dad, it's called Dad Coach.
Yeah.
And it's a secondary book of that too. And to me,
yeah, I'm going to have to give those a read.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. You can intertwine that with, because this is a baseball guy.
Yep.
But you can entertain it into every sport. Yeah, and that's, to me, I tell my parents, I go, please read this book before we even have any conversations.
Yep.
It's an easy read, too. I mean, you can
perfect.
read that in a weekend. And it's
really
great. Good.
Yeah.
So recommend that. Tell your parents, read it, audiobook, whatever. I don't care. Something. And it's like, I've had parents, and you know some of the parents, and they're like, wow, Seth, thank you. And it's hockey parents.
Yeah.
And some of the parents that are, my kid has been playing for a while, and they're in AAA too.
Yep.
And they'll be like, wow, we did it when we were driving to Chicago. We listened to the whole book.
Yeah.
And they're like, it
could be an eye-opener.
Huge eye-opener. So highly recommend that book. It's great.
Well, I'm interested in your sports business degree.
Yeah.
We kind of skipped over that. We went right to coaching. But
yeah.
What made you want to go into that? What did you learn? And this is kind of like what we're doing here, saying, look, man, you got to keep perspective when you get your kids in this. You got to be in the arms race to try to stay competitive.
Yeah.
Play high school ball, but it is a business. It's a $40 billion business.
Yeah.
From your perspective, like, how do you see that? Is it changed since you went to school? And what advice would you give people to, try to not get too carried away with it? So
it's funny, man. I when I went to school, I was still all in on hockey. Like, I'm going to school to play hockey. I'm not going to school to be a student. And so I took sports management because I thought it would, number one, sports management. I was like, oh, sports. Yeah, I'll enjoy that. I'll enjoy the classes. And it wasn't like civil engineering. by any means. It wasn't very difficult. So my class load was not hard. But that being said, like, yeah, I learned so much through the program at SUNY Canton, leadership wise, business wise, you know, really like my approach to coaching and how I just work with teams and individuals and stuff. And I don't want to say leadership qualities, but yeah, leadership qualities was from a specific class that I took in college. So I got a lot out of it. But with the sports business, you know, I got heavy into it when I first moved here. And like I said, it snowballed. I gave one lesson when I was interning and the guy paid me $30. I was like, I can get paid for this? Like, that's crazy. And then that word of mouth kind of spread to one other, and then just started piling in. And then next thing you know, I'm at the rink at 5:30 in the morning. I'm not leaving until 10 o'clock at night. And I loved every second of it. I was single, no kids. So I was like, I'll spend all the time at the rink and I get to skate at the same time. It's just great. And then, you know, it started to snowball and turned itself into one of those things where it was paying the bills. And then, you know, sorry, what was the second part of your question?
What advice would you give parents to not get carried away? Because
people, I'm
Get
telling
carried
you,
away with like signing your kids up for too much.
and
you
then
mean?
and then people actually taking HELOC loans. I've heard this, taking HELOC loans against their parents.
401ks.
401ks, maxing out credit cards. You're like, guys, come on.
Yeah, no, there's so many ways you can get better at this sport without spending all the money on it. You know, buy him a cheap net off of Facebook Marketplace and get what my parents did, they bought me a piece of like plastic, like some sort of like plexiglass or something that I just put on the grass in the backyard to shoot. You know, I didn't have all the synthetic ice tiles and stuff. I don't think they made them back then, but you know, you don't have to spend top dollar to get better at this sport. If your kid, number one, you can't force them into it. If your kid doesn't want private lessons, don't sign them up for private lessons. Don't force them to do that stuff.
Yeah.
And number two, if you see, and this is how my dad not coached me, but coached me growing up as an athlete. He didn't care if I made mistakes, if I didn't score a goal, like whatever. He didn't ever talk about that. But if I had any lack of effort, that's when he got on me. And he's like, I'm not funding this for you just to go out and have a good time.
What age did he tell you that? Because that's a very hard
Like
line.
8.
Oh, he told you at 8 too. Okay.
But I learned at 8. So
Yeah.
from then, man, like I wasn't ever the best, but I worked my ass off every single time at practice, at the game, because I knew that it was a privilege to play. It wasn't a right to play. It wasn't a guarantee. And I knew I had an inkling of, you know, okay, we're not rich. I know this isn't cheap. Yeah, I better work hard.
Yeah.
And so
I always say a kid will tell you what he wants to do without telling you.
yeah, if use the eye test.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see if your kid's working hard on the ice. If they're not working hard, then have a conversation with them. And there's nothing wrong with that.
But if you're living your life through the kids, and I know you see
Too many
this,
people are. Too many people are.
and you're like,
And I can see
come on.
how easy it could be too. I
Oh,
could totally
yeah.
see how easy it could be because I want Maddie to golf. Not only for her to golf, but so I can get the residual
Exactly.
tee times.
You're
you know
like,
what I
yeah,
mean?
let's do it.
Yeah, sorry, babe. Hey, she loves golf. I got to take her to
We
the
gotta
course.
go. I gotta go
Get an
teach
8
her how
a.m.
to
tee
chip.
time. Yeah. But no, I think there's a lot of that, and it's hard to fault parents, man, because like you have a kid, and they're a little mini you, and you see the potential. And I feel like I sympathize with the parents that do that. You know what I mean? I can see how easy it would be to get roped into that. But at the same time, yeah, like you got to teach them hard lessons too. You know, you can't just if your kid's lazy on the ice, if they're, I'll put it this way. If you're spending all this money on them to play a travel sport or what, this or that, and they go home and they're playing 4 hours of Fortnite a night and they're, you know, you have to tell them to go shoot pucks or do it. Why? Let them play house league.
Yeah.
It's a couple $100 a season.
Yep.
They'll still get to skate. They'll still get to have fun.
Yep. And they'll probably dominate.
You'll save yourself a lot of money.
and
You can go on your family vacations. Nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no rule book that says if your kid doesn't play triple, you're gonna hate. You know, you're gonna have a miserable experience.
So when they come to beer league, they're playing D or C division. Who cares?
I played house league till I was 13 years old. You know what I mean?
Who cares? And but some parents get all freaked out. Oh, my kid's not gonna. He's gonna be behind.
Yep.
Stop.
Yep.
Just stop.
Doesn't exist at 11 years old.
No, because your kids they develop differently because they drop. Yeah, it's puberty.
Yeah.
Puberty. I always say, don't talk to me until hit puberty.
Yeah.
Oh, this kid hit 480, 17 home runs with these stupid bats. Stupid bats again. And he goes,
My dad has the same conversation about hockey sticks.
God, these hockey
He
sticks.
still tells me, use a wood stick. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
get the Titan
No,
out.
I'm not
Get
using
the
a
old
wood
Titan.
stick. Yeah.
Have you seen these new composite sticks that just got approved?
No.
And there's like a hole in them.
Oh, the hole? Oh,
yeah.
no.
Hey, you know what's funny? I'll get on the youth hockey stick, or not the youth. I'll get on the hockey stick rant. I was a kid when I went in the pro shop. I got puppy dog eyes. When I saw the stick I wanted, and my dad, he bought me one or two. But the stick, these gear companies are genius. They make a new stick every month. It feels like, and it's the same stick, just repainted, rewrapped.
Well, that's where you love the black stick.
yeah, yeah,
The black stick's the best.
yeah. And it's cheaper.
Yeah.
No, it's hockey in general. It's so ridiculously expensive.
Oh, there you go. Look there. That thing, that looks like one of those shinny hockey sticks. Look at that thing.
And I bet you it's $450.
Oh, my God.
It'll break after 33 days.
don't even need
warranty's
tape.
3 days expired.
You know what? Well, I guarantee Pavel Barber's going to use that thing and show everybody how good he is.
Yeah. Oh, hey, that's another thing. Like the Instagram. All you see on Instagram is all this skill stuff. And
Yep.
Yeah, we were talking to Greg Sowers about that. He's got his thing that he's doing, 307 hockey.
yeah, I see his stuff. He does great. Like he's awesome on the social media. He has good drills. And
Do
stuff.
you try to do anything to connect? Because you're like 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm trying to fight the social media smartphone as long as I can. But do you find you can connect with them, or do you tell them to watch? Who's that guy? Sean Carter or
Well, even like Sean Carter, like Pavel Barber, he's
Yeah.
stick handling. Then you got the Nasher guy. And
Yeah.
all these guys that, this. That's.
Is it worth it, or is that just kind of junk food?
I mean, it's entertainment for the kids. They're online personalities, and the kids are obsessed with social media nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm on social media, but I'm a pretty private person. I don't like blasting my life out there. It's just kind of who I am. But
Follow us on TikTok, guys.
Yeah.
Beer
And
League Live.
YouTube, TikTok, and Spotify.
quick plug.
Quick plug.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. It's not going to be bad for you, but I also think all of that has taken away from kids just wanting to watch a game. You know what I mean? Like you don't,
Because it's quick and easy.
quick and easy.
Yeah.
It's quick and easy, and that's kind of the way of the world now, right? With technology, everything's quick and easy.
I noticed with my kid, and again, you can't yet with this, and Greg too, he can probably understand too. My kid will watch a YouTube video of Crosby highlights more than sit down and watch a game with me anymore. And for me also too, I can't watch the Rangers.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to watch hockey, and to me, hockey's been so boring.
Yeah.
It's because it's so talented, but it's so boring.
There's too many distractions for kids now. You know, they all got cell phones for the most part. A lot of them are on social media. They got their video games, and so to be entertained for them is really easy. And for me, when I really started to become a Sabres fan, I wanted to watch every single game.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch every single game. And yeah, I was a fan, but I was so involved. I wasn't sitting on my phone scrolling for half the game. I was locked in on the TV watching the game. And for me, that's where I really started to understand the ebbs and flows of the game. Like, oh, I just saw that guy do that. Oh, look at that little 5-foot area pass there. Like, I just picked up on things, right? And after a little while, you start noticing yourself doing that in practice and in games, and that's where I really learned you can't get that out of highlights. Highlights,
you can't.
You just see McDavid going coast to coast doing McDavid things, and what people need to understand is that guy's an anomaly.
Oh,
He's a freak.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
if it
nuts.
was easy to be McDavid, there'd be 100 McDavids in the NHL.
Yeah.
There's a reason why the majority of the NHL are third line grinding kind of players.
I kind of blame a little bit of ESPN. If think about it, ESPN came up and all they showed was guys dunking basketballs.
Yeah.
So that's why when we go to play overseas, we always lose to like Lithuania and all these teams because they're throwing threes, but the guy's not dunk.
Yeah.
Dunk.
All right, that's some get off my lawn.
Yeah.
Let him dunk.
I just
Let him dunk.
dunk. See,
It's the three-pointer that ruined
sem-
basketball.
Semi-pro with that with the first alley-oop.
Yeah, exactly.
Foul. No, 2 fouls.
What do you think on it's kind of the same line like hockey IQ? You said kind of starting to do systems at 13. But
Yeah.
that's one of the things we keep hearing is that the skills there, the private lessons, the skate lessons, everything. But how to run a 1-2-2 or to do a trap, nobody knows that, and it's like, what?
So I don't do any cone drills at all anymore.
No cones.
Completely eliminated cone drills from my from really anything. There's no cones on the ice when you're playing a game. And number two, thank you, sir. Number two, like I truly believe that, and this has kind of shifted for me over the last couple of years as I've gone to coaching seminars and heard, other coaches and people that are at a higher level than me speak on it. But kids learn through experience, right? So all of my drills, they have a purpose, and every single time it's a drill designed to replicate a specific game situation. And so sometimes I'll blow it dead and have the kids freeze and I'll correct them and stuff. But I try to get them as many reps as possible. If we do video, it'll be no more than 10 minutes because their attention spans aren't very long. And so I'm not going to run through an hour-long video session. But
here's an idea that I had. Like, what if you, and we talked to Sean about this, like if you came, and we do it here, and did like a 5-minute thing on whatever technique or tactic, and then you blasted it out in an email and said, look, I'm not going to waste time when everybody's here.
Yeah.
But look at this.
Yep.
Everybody watch this. It'd be like a bite-sized way to get ready for the practice.
Yeah, for sure.
What kind of video stuff do you guys do?
So I've done that in the past. So we use Team Snap for our team, for our communication. And if I see a clip while I'm watching games that night or whatever, if I see something, on social media, a clip of a really good play, I'll send that clip to the Team Snap and just a quick little snippet of like, hey, watch so-and-so does here with, and show this to your kids, please. And then in terms of like what we do for video, we don't do a whole lot. Like we practice twice a week. We practice Monday, Wednesday nights. We're not AAA, so there's a little bit less dedication, which is good. I did give the kids a little bit of homework, optional homework though. Everything I give the kids, I always make it optional. I'm like, you have to decide if you want to do this. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But you got to understand, you're not going to get better if you don't. So I've given them optional homework. I want them to watch 1 period of hockey, any game, every night. Just 1 period. That's 35 minutes, 40 minutes.
I hope not the Preds.
No.
Would you lay off?
I did it. I did it.
Hey, they're off to a better start this year.
It's
than
better
last
than
year.
last year.
Yeah, they go 0-8 last year to start. But yeah, this year, we'll as a team do a quick little video session, before practice on a Wednesday because we're at Bellevue, and so they got all the facilities upstairs and stuff. When we're away for the weekends for like a travel tournament in the hotel, if I don't like the way we're playing or if I see some things we need to correct, I'll pull up a live barn quick and just show them a quick 5-minute little snippet of plays that we're trying to avoid.
I love that.
But I try not to beat them to death with it. I teach them this way. Defensive zone, we're very structured. Neutral zone, we're very structured, but a little less structured. Offensive zone, that's your creative zone. Go have fun. There's no rules in the offensive zone. Make mistakes. That's the one thing I will say about myself as a coach. I don't harp on kids about making mistakes. Make mistakes, man. Just if you're going to do it, do it hard. If you're going to make a bad pass, make a bad pass hard. And the only thing I'll bench kids for or sit kids for, bad attitude, being a bad teammate, talking back to the officials.
Body language.
Body language is one thing for sure, ties into the attitude. And just complete lack of compete. Yeah. Complete lack of compete. That's funny.
Yeah. There you go. I like it.
But yeah, those are really the only things. And those are some of the expectations I laid out to the parents before. If a kid makes a bad pass up the middle, it gets picked off and winds up in the back of our net, that's fine. You're probably going to stay out there for the next face-off unless you've been out there for a minute and a half.
But that one dad goes, my son should have been out there. Why was that kid out there?
That's why sometimes we lose a bad game. I'll still avoid all the parents walking out.
No, you should. And that's exactly, he was like, there's the hour rule.
Yeah.
Give the hour rule. I know Greg's got this program he went out and did. He did a great program.
I'm down them. These are good.
That's all right. Hey,
I have a driver tonight, everyone.
There you go. He has a great program. He has it, and he's almost like John Madden. You're like, boom, you run the ball, boom.
Yeah.
So he circles it, and I think it's actually a pretty good idea. And with our team, we had a game, and we went back to my house for basically barbecue because there was a big gap in between the games. And I was like, hey, guys, you know what? Kids run around. I have a pickleball court and a basketball court, and the kids are playing and running around. And then I just said, I'm going to put the game up on Live Barn. And you can see what kids were like. They sat down and watched the game.
Yeah.
half the kids are still playing pickleball and
Yep.
basketball. Some of the kids were like, okay, watch it. But I think it is a good thing because when you get older, younger, I'm like, yeah, don't.
Yeah,
It's
for
have
sure.
fun, But when you start getting older and you start getting serious, you can do that and you go, okay, maybe, oh, wow. And it goes back to the thing you said, like, wow, I was flying. That's not flying. Dude, you're like skating in sand,
Yeah.
But it's kind of a cool thing. And to break it down, like Greg said, he goes, just show a 5 little clip it, send it to the kids. Say, hey, listen, you did great here. Boom, here you go. Look at this. You did it. You were in the right spot, right time. And you nailed it, too, at your defensive zones.
Yeah.
Game starts from back and go out. And be creative. And the thing is, creativity is not there anymore. When we were kids on the pond, that's when you got creative.
Yeah, you want the puck, you got to move.
Go.
If you're just standing, or and that's the one I do harp on the kids during practice. If I see if we're doing a drill where there's got to be a lot of movement, a lot of puck movement, a lot of support, high, low, this and that, and I just see kids standing around, I blow the whistle dead and I get on them a little bit. I'm like, how can you expect to get the puck if you're just standing there the whole time? Like, you've got to move, and so. Yeah, things like that. But the video, I see Greg all the time. He does such a good job on the social media with that stuff, and he makes it really clear. So I enjoy watching his videos. But yeah, as the kids get older now, you do a little bit more of it because their attention spans get a little bit longer. They can focus for a little longer. But I try not to beat them to death with it. And it's funny because, I've gotten to know a couple of the Preds coaches a little bit over the last few years, and just picking their brains on it, they don't do a lot of video with their guys either. Yeah, they try to limit it to 10, 15 minutes of video at the NHL level, just because same thing. You start watching so much of it, and now all of a sudden you're overloaded with all this information, and now do you have to think on the ice? For sure, you got to think on the ice. You can't just turn your brain off, but now you're overthinking. And, I try to play a good balance of not getting the kids to do that, but also okay, I have a point to make. Let's try to make that point in under 5 minutes and get out of here.
Well, I want to plug you a little bit more, too, and how we and Greg met, too. We met at the lab.
Good old hockey lab.
Good old hockey lab.
I miss driving that Zamboni, man.
Oh, well, everyone, you bounced it off the walls.
It's like bumper cars on the ice.
To me, that's where we first met you, too.
Yeah.
It was great. You used to call my son Dominic.
I remember that.
Dominic.
I remember that all the time.
And he would
the amount of I still get.
know.
I'm awful with names.
It was great because he was like, Daddy, call me Dominic. I'm like,
go with
what'd
it.
you say? He goes, I'm Dominic. All right, shut up, you're Dominic. There you go. But it was great, and we always loved you about being out there, you and Coach Allie.
Yeah.
And to me, that's where it started for us actually even before you a little bit was Murphy.
Yeah.
Murphy would crank the music up too, and they
Yeah.
would just AC/DC. Then you took over, you cranked up AC/DC and had the
I
kids
loved it,
playing.
man. That was the
To me,
time.
that was like just the beginning of how it all started and how cool it was. And
Yeah.
and I want to thank you for that too,
Yeah.
because you've given that skill to my kid at a young age, and Allie too. And I'm gonna get Allie on the show. Allie, you listen, you better get on the show here. We talked about
Allie's
it.
awesome. She's such a good coach, and it was so much fun being at the lab with her and with Murph too. And but yeah, dude, those lab days, those were the best. And
perfect.
I'd get off the ice after a 15-minute session. I'd put the skate guards on, go zam quick, and get back off, go run another session. And it was really cool because we had a tight group there, right? We had the same kids for the most part every hour. Different age groups, obviously, but yeah, it was. And the weirdest thing for me still is a lot of the kids that I had, they're driving now. They're graduating school.
And that's where it's like, I guess it's gotta be weird for you.
What in the world? That's how probably parents imagine, right? Like when their kids, like for you,
Oh yeah.
watching Dimitri like be a young adult almost now.
It's crazy.
Like, is that not the weirdest thing in the
It's
world?
the weirdest thing. It's like
Yeah,
we're
your
having a
daughter's-
conversation. Yeah, my daughter's now.
Yeah.
She was 8 years old when we first moved here. Now
Yeah.
she's in college. She's like,
Yeah.
Dad, I'm going out doing this. I'm like, okay, have fun.
I'm not ready for that when Maddie gets to that age,
And
but
you know what? You
gonna-
won't. You'll never be ready.
Yeah.
As a yeah, no.
Yeah. So it's funny. It's funny to when the kids start going through puberty too. They get their awkward voices and
Oh, yeah. It's like when they come on, boys. What? What's happening?
yeah.
I'm gonna have to say something to you real quick. You got to press pause for a second. Press pause. All right. I have to piss so bad.